Thanks for clicking on Total Harmonic Distortion channel. Today we're going to take a look at this Strymon BigSky Reverb pedal. This pedal has mix control that controls the mix between the effect and the original signal. There's modulation, that's a chorus-like effect. There's two parameters that are effect specific and a tone control. Tone control looks like some sort of high pass filter, and this thing parameter 1 is a low pass filter, and parameter 2 looks like a couple of different EQs for the springs. On the top we have a value control which controls various parameters like number of springs. This goes from 3, 2, or 1 spring. And the dwell, which we already saw, the low end, which is in parameter 1. Over here we got a decay control. We'll have to zoom out a bit to show that. Okay, zooming out, you can see the decay control controls the amount of decay on the reverb. And there's also a pre-delay, which moves the initial delays around. Switching over to the MLS tab, so we can take a look at the frequency response. It looks like the spring algorithm itself has a frequency response up to 12K. And switching over, so there's no effect in the signal, we can see the frequency response to the pass-through. Looks like there's maybe a 3 dB attenuation on the high frequencies. Other than that, it's flat. The two signals are very close together, which means it has a really strong buffer in it. Now, in addition, this pedal has a cabinet simulator that can be activated by a switch on the back. And this will give us the curve of the cab simulator file. This looks synthetic, but that's probably a good thing. The way they measure MLS speakers, it's wrong, so it's nice to see a nice smooth response like this. But anyways, that's the speaker simulator. Let's drop over to delay because we can probably get a latency on that. Oh, by the way, ignore this latency over here. That's the latency of my computer itself. But anyways, this latency over here is 1.29 milliseconds for the cab simulator on. You turn the cab simulator off, it looks like it's an analog pass-through, so there's no sampling involved at all. Switching over to the magneto algorithm, you can see it's a delay-based effect. There's a delay that you can change, and let's move this to 600. And you can see basically there's evenly spaced delays, or what it calls evenly spaced. It's a little bit off, which is kind of weird because if you look at all the other digital delays I test, these numbers will just match over and over again. But anyways, on this one there's a low frequency parameter, diffusion, the number of heads, which I'm assuming. Okay, so we can go to 6 heads. Okay. Once again, the numbers don't really match up, which is kind of weird because it's kind of set spacing to even. Now, if you set to uneven, it gives you a different set of spacings on the delays. In this case, it's these values over here. But even when it's on even spacing, it's just off a little bit, which is a little goofy. I've tested my software, so it's actually inside this thing. There's also a diffusion parameter, which will set the diffusion for each of the delays. Diffusion just sort of spreads out the impulse a bit. It's kind of a reverb primitive in a lot of ways. Switching over to synchro tab, we can see the various delays of the various heads. Let's move over to heads and move that to 3. One odd thing is there's no 5 heads. It goes 3, 4, and 6 for whatever reason. We'll leave it at 3 and take a look at some of the other parameters. There's a decay parameter which looks like it's actually the delay time in this particular algorithm. And there's also a pre-delay control, which looks like it controls the feedback. The decay and pre-delay, it's kind of reversed for me, but yeah, it's just more of a reverb pedal, I guess. As looked at before is the diffusion control, which looks something like that. Diffuses out the signal. And then there's a low frequency boost and a high frequency cut kind of a thing on this particular algorithm. In addition, there are many other reverb kind of algorithms. There's a nonlinear algorithm. There's a reflections, room, a hall, plate, spring. We already saw swell and a balloon. So yeah, there's various reverbs on this pedal. They all sound pretty good. I'm a little disappointed that they don't go up to 20 kilohertz. They only go up to 12 kilohertz. But that's just the way it is. Okay, let's take a look at the noise floor of this particular pedal. And we'll switch over to noise and let the reverb sort of die down. Okay, noise floor looks excellent. The effect is currently running. I'm not feeding any signal into it, but noise floor looks great. And this is running off of my noisy power supply. So it looks like there's good power supply filtering on this. Switching over to browser mode, you can see that you can stay Saturday, December 10th at the BigSky Resort for only $269. Let's look at shopping to see what the Blue Sky pedal actually goes for. Okay, it looks like $429 used. That seems a bit high. $369 used. $479. That's the normal price for it. Okay, I guess they made a black midnight edition, which seems kind of cool too. And in addition, looks like they actually have a plug-in for this particular pedal now too. So okay, that's the BigSky Reverb from Strymon. Please subscribe and click like. Thanks.